Hello, I'm Gemma Rayne Fountain, Exercise Physiologist, Integrative Nutrition Health Coach, author, and speaker, and welcome to the Mince, where we discuss all things motivation, movement, inspiration, nutrition, community, and empowerment as it pertains to your health. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let's dig in. Today, we are going to chat about Behind the Book. So this is part one of my Behind the Book series, talking about the stories behind the writing of my book. And the book is called The Elephant in the Room: How to Overcome Your Psychological Barriers to Weight Loss Success. And I'm discussing the stories behind how the book was created, how it came to be, and how it ended up getting published, and the little miracles, the trials, the tribulations, the perseverance, the tears, the heartache that went behind it. So this is part one, titled Why I Wrote My Book. So a few years ago, I wrote my book, The Elephant in the Room: How to Overcome the Psychological Barriers to Weight Loss Success. It's about the mental blocks to weight loss. It is available in print on Amazon, but I want to gift it to you for free in PDF form. So if you would like to read my book completely free, find the link in the comments here with this recording, and I will go ahead and get that sent off to you. So today, we're going to talk about the story behind the book, why I wrote my book. So writing a book had been a childhood dream of mine. And at the time I wrote it, I had been a personal trainer and a group fitness instructor for 15 years and had earned my bachelor's degree in exercise physiology from the West Virginia University School of Medicine. This experience and education gave me the confidence to feel justified in writing a book. But in hindsight, I realize now that I could have written the book anyway without all those qualifications. But those qualifications gave me the confidence I needed to do so. And in my years in personal training and fitness, I had had a front row seat to the weight loss struggles of my clients, and I had struggled with weight myself. I knew that a new fad diet or another new trendy workout was not what people needed. From my own experience and through helping my clients, I knew that we needed to start doing the deep inner work that leads to the healing that is needed if we're ever going to have success with our physical goals. So through my experience, I had learned that exercise and diet were not the most important parts of success when it came to weight loss. They were, in fact, a byproduct of becoming a healthier and happier human. I remember in my early 20s when I struggled with my weight the most. I would bully myself to try a new pill or diet or workout, but would sabotage all my efforts by overeating. When nothing I tried got me the fitness results that I was looking for, I recall thinking I was broken. There must have been something wrong with me. Why didn't I look like these people I wanted to look like in the gym or in fitness? And so I thought I was broken, and I felt alone and disgusting, and I was sad. I didn't want another woman to ever feel the way I did. I didn't want any other woman to feel that type of despair. So when I started to unravel the reasons for my overeating, the reasons I did not value my own goals and desires, and the reasons I sabotaged all my hard work, that's when the true healing began. The freedom that was gained from doing the hard inner work was liberating, and I wanted every woman I knew, and even those I didn't know, to feel this liberation from their own mental blocks to weight loss. When the idea for the elephant in the room came to me, I was pretty excited to make it happen. The goal was to just start a conversation around the various mental blocks I had experienced myself and witnessed in my clients and friends. So many of us struggle with the same blocks, the exact same elephants in the room. We're not broken or weird. In fact, we're so much more alike than we know. At the time I wrote the book, no one was talking about the deep inner work needed in a weight loss journey, at least no one I had found. So getting this conversation started was critical. By sharing this information with as many people as I could, I hoped it would be the facilitator for change that people had been craving. I was and still am super passionate about helping women feel less alone in their weight loss struggles and to shed light on the reasons we all sabotage our best efforts when it comes to health, wellness, fitness, and nutrition. Through my experience, I had learned that true health transformation started with the mental emotional part. The emotional wounds and the psychological barriers were where the healing needed to happen first if weight loss success was ever going to be reached, and even more so if it was going to stick. This book was my way of letting women know that they are not alone and they're not broken. Little did I know that the book would take on a life of its own. It would reinforce my belief in the divine and bring me so many tears and so much laughter. Thank you for listening to part 1. If you'd like to hear part 2 about when I wrote the book, click below for the next part.